Alright, we have a Kathleen. Hello. Welcome out there. I'm here with Jango in my ear.
Hello, hello.
We'll see. I haven't done a whole lot of prep because we're friends on Steam. As soon as I open this, it's going to tell you what I'm doing. So I have no idea.
Well, I will tell you, I intentionally quit Steam to
Okay.
avoid that problem.
I'm like, he's going to see. Oh god, yeah, my computer's a little freaked out. Hold on. This could be fun. But we're here hanging out. Jango's birthday was last month, but we didn't have time to get together until today. Just changing some things here. There we go. See if this makes my computer panic less. I did. Hold on. It's always funny to me, like, what makes my computer panic and what doesn't, because it's never what I expect it to be.
I will say, this is a new thing in our friendship that you're the one who is surprising me live on the
I know. what is about that? Okay, everything should be happy. So now, what I'm gonna do is I'll first share it with Jango, so he'll see, and then I'll turn on the stream for everybody else. Where's Discord? There we go. I opened the game and all of my windows panicked. Okay, share your screen with Jango. Here's your birthday surprise.
I will say, ever since you told me that this is what you wanted to do, this is what I hoped it was.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't think it would be particularly hard for you to guess. I didn't think I was super sneaky. But we're past the 5-year mark. I don't know if the achievement actually popped or not. But I told you I wasn't going to play it for 5 years. Yeah, I got it. Don't play the Stanley Parable for 5 years. The sequel or the deluxe edition or whatever has a don't go out or don't play for 10 years achievement. But supposedly, if you just change the year on your computer, you can make it pop.
Funny.
But yeah, so for those who may not know, way back in the day when we were doing the Star Wars channel, I started doing Let's Plays on this channel. And the first one I did, I think, was Wolf Among Us. But this was on there too, and I only did 3 episodes because at that point I just got sick of editing Let's Plays. I played it, I enjoyed it, I felt like I understood the shtick. It didn't grab me, but Jango's wanted me to give it another chance for years, and I said I would not until I legitimately got the 5-year achievement. So we're gonna jump in, and I have no idea if it's actually gonna I do like the infinity effect on the. We're gonna begin the game. I don't know if it's gonna remember my. It's not really a game that necessarily remembers your progress anyway, but I don't know if it's gonna remember that I've played it before or not because it's a completely different computer I've downloaded it on. The end is never. The end is never. The end is never. The end is never. Is loading never. It is never loading. You know, what I was going to say before I open it, it cracks me up that my computer has the hardest time with older games. Like, I could have opened, Forbidden West and it would be fine, but it was like, oh, you want to play this game in 1080p, right? And all of my windows changed size and moved around, and I'm like, ah!
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Also, everyone let me know about the audio with Jango versus
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple.
I love that
he sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order.
We'll also give this as a plug. You need to watch Severance.
I do want to watch Severance. Severance and Silo are the 2 next ones for me. I just
might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came
But what if is starting up
though he
again
had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
What's funny is I don't work in a cubicle, but I do feel like
and
my
then one
job is
day,
hitting
something
the right
very
button at the right
peculiar
time.
happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say
This is what it's
hi.
like to work on a holiday.
Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
I always thought it was funny, like, in my Let's Play, like, this... That's right, I have to wait for it to yell at me for me to get controls. Okay.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility?
Stanley's a millennial.
He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever.
I can't remember if
I
the
will
door
be
closed
happy.
on its own or if I
Stanley
interacted
waited.
with it.
Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the
I
ability
don't
to
have
tell.
feet. I think
But the
I'm
one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Anyway, this is the game, for those of you who don't know.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial
I don't-
outcome fell under
I
his
don't know if I'm doing
responsibility?
this or if the
He had
game's
never
doing
been
this.
trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy.
I wonder if this is
Stanley
the
waited.
game's way of punishing you
Hours
for waiting
passed,
5 years.
then
Oh, that
days.
could be. I hadn't
Had
thought of
years
that.
gone
That's
by?
funny.
He no longer had the ability to tell.
Because it is
But
talking
the
about
one thing
years
he
going
knew
by.
for sure, beyond any doubt,
Right.
was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to.
Oh!
He will be told what
I know
to
what
do.
happened. I was using
Now it's
WASD and it
just
wanted
a
me to use
little
arrow
bit
keys.
closer.
So that's why I couldn't
Now
move.
it's even closer.
I'm used to
Here it
games
comes.
being the same thing. Okay. This must be what happens if you don't move. Now I can move. Wow, we're off to a great start. Now, the first, when I did the Let's Play, like the second pass through, I found the behind the scenes museum. And, oh, this is weird. I haven't played with arrow keys in
All of his
the
co-workers
actual
were
years.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Can't remember if I can. Is there a zoom in button? I'll try to read this.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his
Okay,
co-workers.
I'm gonna sneak, alright? Who farted? That's a great mug. It's probably the person holding the mug. But anyway, I found like the behind the scenes museum on like my second pass through, and I'm like, I feel like this would mean more to me if I had played more, more of the game. Be my Valentine. I don't actually know which was the meeting room. That printer just makes me think of those Jardians ads that I've been obsessed with.
Oh, yeah.
I love the one where the lady's in the office because it's
Pretty
so
catchy.
white. It is very. I annoy everybody at work because I sing it anytime it comes on. And I'm obsessed with the one in the office because there's this. At one point, while they're going over all of the side effects, there's a guy standing at a printer and he can't get the printer to work. And if you and then the main lady of the ad discovers it's just unplugged. But I'm obsessed with that part because it's like, why is the printer away from the wall? There's two other printers next to the wall. Why did you pull the printer away from the wall? Why are you just in the room with this printer?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So for the sake of fun, we're gonna start following instructions before I spiral this game completely out of control. But part of the fun is to not do what the game tells you to do. But we'll start by going to the door on the left. We'll be good one time through.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
That's relatable.
I want to be the whiteboard manager.
I want to be I kind of
Sure.
am a whiteboard. Legal. Group 41X, 42X, 43X. Weekly review. Pranking floors meeting? Floor 5 meeting. Well, hopefully floor 5 doesn't read this. IT department. We're broke Wednesday. I got here. Tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda items. Yep, that's what tomorrow always is. Get Chris out of the broom closet! How did Chris get in the broom closet? Oh no. The future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. Like, okay. Pre-review of weekly review seems redundant corporate work. That sounds like corporate. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. What the heck? Who moved my desk? Chris has been in the broom closet for 5 years! Oh no, Chris. If you run out of air... What are your dreams of the future? Talk radio? No one has dreams of talk radio in the future anymore. Some do dream of comatose, though. Tips for not getting fired. Talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day. Don't get fired. You can't put the definition of the word in its definition. How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let a ball up inside you. Take it out passive-aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Oh my god, is that real? Using slides to ensure employees that everything is okay. Make sure this slide is a slick blue graphic in the header. And slow some bevel on the text. This will ensure everyone's calm. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Yeah, but 2 of the women have the same color shoes. Oh, come on. Number of slides on this slide. What do people want? What's scribbled out there? Happy some things. Mike James, you were fired. Happy feelings? I think it says happy feeling. Please more charts. Boss appreciation minute. On your boss appreciation minute worksheet, circle the 20 things you love the most about your boss. Fill out in triplicate and return to your boss appreciation specialist. Bi-quarterly post-review review. Work harder, hard worker.
A lot of percent.
A lot of percent. Okay. Synergize those core values. Monetize free to play. That's definitely, that is very meta for a video game. Let's just say, help, I'm a okay. Oh no, it's Chris in the bloom.
Not a mimic.
Chris, are you in the broom closet?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and
Chris?
got back on track.
Chris!
A lot of my favorite endings involve staying in the broom closet for certain
really?
amounts of time.
I can imagine. I do want to, one pass through I want to do what the voice tells me to do. And then we'll go from there.
No, I'm down for
the
it.
Staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
You can never see out the windows. I don't know if I ever made it to this floor. Executive bathroom? No, this room does look familiar.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
Okay.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
There's a lot of humor in this that also makes me think of Portal. I've been wanting to replay Portal 2. Or I should say, I've never played it on the channel. Replay Portal 2. Put it on the channel. Whoa. Did I get an ending, or are we just loading into a new area? I'm gonna say we're just loading, because it doesn't have the end is not the end is not the end.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
This looks like a very Prey hallway.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Or there's an escape route. No, we're gonna do one pass where we... I mean, I guess I did put the code in when it said I didn't know, but I want to do one pass where I do the voices.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
Architect in the
Stanley
Matrix.
thought to himself. Did he have the strength
thought it was
to
Cerebro.
find out?
Oh yeah, fair.
It's almost like that's a common theme in science fiction or something. What are these numbers? Do you know if the game they released is a
Now
remaster
the
of this?
monitors
or-
jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
I
Each
don't know.
bore the number of an
That's
employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
It's 427. My 427 or my 742?
427. Yeah.
Okay, so that was my office. I don't know. Okay, oh god. I got myself turned around there.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life
red
in
flashing lights
someone
probably
else's
fine.
control?
I'm sure it's
Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
How do I do that? Probably facility power. Feels like a place it wants me to go to. So I hit 5. Nothing. Okay. Awaiting input. For Stardust.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
This is gonna be like
Stanley
a screen or
stepped
something.
through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, I beat the game.
Huh.
Which I apparently did not do.
Congratulations.
Is it because I just did what I was told? Is that the shtick? Because I definitely did not do a playthrough where I did exactly what I was told.
All of his
for.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
That's really
There's
Stanley
no paper
decided
on
to
the
go
ground
to the
this
meeting
time.
room.
No.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I remember, because I actually got out of the office the first few times, I remember there was not always paper on the floor. 420. Waiting input.
Funny that there's a plant outside of 420.
Oh, yeah.
A potted plant, even.
Is it Anakin Solo? It's a very deep joke.
I got it.
I know you did. I don't think anybody.
I'm one of maybe a dozen humans who would. So.
Get the joke. I wonder how Greg's doing.
He liked one of my Facebook posts the other day.
That's good.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, let's go to the right. Let's make the.
This
voice
was not the
angry.
correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Doors. I don't remember any of them ever being unlocked, but it doesn't hurt to click them.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour
Oh,
after all,
drinks.
just to spend a few moments here in this
$1.25 for a drink.
immaculate,
This is definitely
beautifully
a fictional
constructed
game.
room. Stanley simply stood
like-
there, drinking it all in.
$2.50 now. If not more.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the
Let's get
first
back
open
to
door on his left.
business. To defeat the
I wonder if people have like mapped out like the space in this game.
This old enough, people have to have. I would assume. Okay, so in here, it's like a storeroom, and in here, we'll go this way.
And so he
I
detoured
think you
through
get
the
different
maintenance
endings too,
section,
based off of like
walked
how many
straight ahead
times
to the
you
opposite
moved through
door,
the same
and got
area, right?
back on track.
Yeah.
I think like there's all sorts of conditions. I got some trippy stuff in the ones I got in some sort of like hallway with like a starry sky in it or something.
But
Very
Stanley
vague
didn't want to
memories.
go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, From here, it's, left.
And at this point, the game's like,
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
it might be this hallway. This might be, because
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
I hit space enough times, it's like, no, really.
No, let's see. We went down right.
It's not the
left,
first time I've hit
down,
space. I'm like,
left,
can I jump?
Right. Yep. Okay. Yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Getting out of here before it. I wonder if there's a way to get hit by the truck. Oh. We're in this room.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler.
No,
Quick,
Dave,
Stanley,
it's
close
not.
your
We've
eyes.
been here before.
Okay. We just have to get back to
I actually have been here already.
Who am I kidding?
Well, that guy's fired.
It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track.
I want to see what happens if I
Okay,
do it a
from
second
the top.
time. I think I'm really going to piss the voice off if I do the exact same
All of his
sequence.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
Is
he had
the
simply missed a
narrator
memo.
a name I would know? Like, is
Like
it
the voice actor?
Yeah.
I'll look it up real quick.
When Stanley...
Oh.
What? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Interesting. Which way do I want to go? I want to go this way.
His name is Kevin Brighting. He's done mostly just other voiceover stuff, but I don't see anything off the top of the list that would be something that I know for sure you would recognize.
You know who's going to be the narrator for Civ 7?
Who's that?
Gwendolyn Christie.
I'll say it. This is the
Oh, that's
worst
cool.
adventure I've
I'm
ever been
so
on. I can
excited.
promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
I'm walking here. It's so funny because I've been seeing a lot of clips because they just announced Witcher 4.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I'm not-
What could it mean?
I've never
Stanley
played
decided
Witcher,
to go to
nor
the
do I
meeting room.
particularly
Perhaps
think
he
it's
had
a series
simply
I would
missed a
enjoy.
memo.
But I've been enjoying seeing how excited people are for it, and I just keep thinking that's how I felt when they announced Civ 7. Like, I basically cried when they announced Civ 7. And I'm like, I am so weird.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be
Oh,
remembering
I felt
this
when they
wrong.
announced Half-Life
It's
3.
possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we
Oh,
missed
God.
anything?
There's a trailer. So there's this game called The Outer Worlds, which not to be confused with The Outer Wilds. The Outer Worlds, which is pretty good. It was missing some sort of secret sauce, but it's made by Obsidian, and they're making The Outer Worlds 2, and the trailer is a riot because they're famous for KOTOR 2. But they didn't make the first one. There's another game that they made a sequel to, and they didn't make the first one. I can't remember what that was. And then they made Fallout New Vegas, and it's the only Fallout game they've made, which they called Fallout 3 Part 2. And they were just making fun of how they always make other people's sequels, and now they're finally making their own sequel. It was the funniest effing thing.
That's funny.
But, like, you would only get it if you know the studio.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Look, it's the 420 plant.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Doesn't help that this mouse sensitivity is crazy, and every time I bump it, it just shows me the other track. Oh no, warehouse. Oh, I think. Oh no, because it's not a hallway. This. For a second, I thought I went back.
Now
to
this. Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so.
I don't have
I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yay!
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good
You've won twice
job.
now.
I've won twice. I'm so good at this.
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
What do you want?
Okay? I'm getting
back.
weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
The Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
All right, I've
like
got a
those
solution.
commercials.
This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
This is going somewhere else, voice. Hey, that guy's playing solitaire.
Yep.
Funny. Voice guy. Voice guy.
You see? The line knows where the story
Line
is.
trademark.
It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that
Okay, you keep
existence,
talking, I'm
right?
going over here.
Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests
gosh,
inside
dang
of
it.
your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on.
This guy needs
got
to
a
go
bit
back to
weird back
Office
there.
420 for a minute.
Well, I'd like to
This
apologize.
is new.
Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of
Spider-Man.
music to lighten the mood.
I don't think I got this. I do this if you let me jump. Very aggressive.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully.
No.
You won't want to miss anything.
I'm not gonna do that. Hey, Ian! Wishing you a happy birthday. There it was.
Oh, thank you. I had the chat clicked away for a second.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a
This
bell?
is Ian's favorite office right here. Okay, what do we got? I can keep following the line. Actually, the line goes a couple different rooms. That's where we followed it before, so let's go this way. Stanley and the office parabola. Yep, basically. I feel like I need to turn this mouse sensitivity down a little bit because I'm almost making myself sick, which is ridiculous considering I can play like Forbidden West and Fallout and not feel sick.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you
are the
I can't
chosen
take this
one.
anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
I still want to see if I can tell if the door shuts. Like, can I watch the door shut? Or is it like a weeping angel door?
I'm proud you got that
You know
reference.
what, Stanley? I say
have a couple
forget
of
the
Hoovians
adventure
as
line.
friends.
What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
At some point I'd like to get legs.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination.
This is just
Whatever
a
it might be,
square.
Stanley, I'm ready for it.
I feel like I'm in the ashtray maze.
Oh, yeah.
Started replaying Control.
Oh,
and I
no,
kinda
not
walked
you
back.
again.
God, that game's so
Stanley,
good.
I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I'm really confused because the first time I played this, I really pissed the line off, and he did the lock you in the room with your wife one. This time the voice
Yeah.
really likes me. I'm like, what did I do? It's because I did it the correct way the first time. Oh no. This looks like a door there.
Ah,
Okay, we
a
didn't want the door
choice.
closed.
We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the
All right,
opportunity.
everybody, left or right?
In fact, I
Left
believe
or
I need
right,
a
tell
minute
me.
to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I
We
know
might
that
get told
each
what to do.
door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to
I
go,
bet to say you should walk
there must be a
backwards.
reverse door
Oh, that's a good idea.
that leads here. And that in
Walk
turn
backwards
means
to
that our
slow.
destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one.
All right.
Another victory for logic. Come,
Ian agrees
Stanley.
too.
Our destiny awaits.
I was going to say left just because I tend to lean toward the left anyway. But it doesn't.
It doesn't give me an option. You've been playing this confusion ending for 16 minutes. I don't think I have been playing this for 6. We've only, well, I guess we've been streaming for 40, so maybe it's possible. Is this my whole game?
Hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
After a long time, Stanley
Really
dies.
how
Hold
all
on.
this goes? It's all...
I would like to find this door,
Determined?
though.
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My
I'm
mind goes
emotionally
blank
confused by
simply
the
because
fact
it's
that
written
Voice
here
and I
on
are
this
like friends.
this thing wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't
The funny
want it to
thing,
be.
look behind
I
you.
don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to
Both
forget
doors
what's
led into
going
this room.
on. I don't want to be
yeah.
trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do
There's
it.
one
I
chair.
won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay.
But it's prevented it's on its own.
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
This morning I got my Steam year in review, and I did not need to be charged for how much I've played Fallout 76. What's always sad whenever I look at that review, though, is not all of my games were on Steam. So, like,
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed the memo.
I'm like, that means I played even more game hours than what was on here.
That's funny.
But it does break up what I played on my computer and what I played on my Steam Deck, which is cool. I played this year. I played a game not on stream called Disco Elysium. Absolutely amazing. Was not sure it was going to live up to the hype.
I've heard a lot about it.
It was really good. Some of the mechanics were a little annoying. Like, I wouldn't say it was a perfect game, but I liked what it was in spirit. It hides a lot of things behind dice rolls, which was a little bit annoying, so I hit a point where I just had to scum save dice rolls, which felt crappy. But there was literally no other way forward. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, what do we do? Do we go through the left or
room closet? Room closet. Room closet.
Room closet. I was gonna say, I could see what happens if I just stand here, too, and see if anything happens. Whoever, like, put this together had to think of so many
Yet there was
things.
not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, so you're saying just go to the broom closet and chill in here for a second.
No, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Will something happen on its own, or should I stay in here a minute and then leave?
I don't remember.
Okay. Well, we'll stay in here a minute at any rate. But yeah, Disco Elysium was really good. It's basically like D&D, but not fantasy. You would love it because there's all of these political science jokes that went so far over my head. But while you're playing it, you can like choose to say like hyper-capitalist things, hyper-Marxist things, hyper like all of this stuff. And I just tend to like when I played, I just would say them at random. But like you can play it too, where you play the whole game, like espousing a particular political philosophy, and it was pretty funny. But there was a part where like I followed enough of it, but then it was definitely referencing stuff where I'm like, I don't even know what to talk about anymore. But it was a detective story. It has a lot of really heavy topics in it, so like definitely don't play it with the kids. I don't think I would have felt comfortable streaming it because of some of the content in it. But I'm really glad I did. Okay, I don't think anything's happening, so let's open the door.
So
Yeah?
go out and then go back in.
You know, I have the voice liking me a lot, and now I feel like I'm gonna piss it off again. There is an achievement I saw on Steam's page for clicking door 403 430 times, and I'm like, that's funny, I'm never gonna do that.
Apparently you have to stay in here until he says something. I don't know how long that takes though. Let me look at it.
Okay. Disco is good. Let's look at while we're waiting for the voice to talk, let's go to my Steam. Actually, Ray, I'm really excited for you to get a Steam year in review. So you can just blame me for almost all of it. You can't blame me for Baldur's Gate 3, though. That was not my fault. Ooh, the winter sale started. That's dangerous for me. I'm actually going to look at my wish list. I can tell it just started because all of Steam is not acting very well. I'm also just standing still because I assume standing still might help. The sale must have just started because Steam is like completely on lockdown. I'll send it to you when you're on your gaming laptop. Heck yeah. Inevitably what happens is there's one of these sales and then I don't buy anything that's actually on my wish list.
Yeah.
And I buy it all. Oh, Cyberpunk is $27. It's the cheapest it's been. It very rarely goes under 50% off. Let's see if I got an email from Steam telling me what's on sale, because that might be better than waiting for the app to actually work. I have a feeling this waiting is going to be a ridiculously long time.
If it is, then don't do it, because that makes for bad.
If I was doing
bad content.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if it was a let's play, that's one thing, because I could edit it out, but we've been here a minute. Okay.
Coming to a staircase,
Eventually he declares
Stanley
you
walked
dead.
upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet?
Yeah, I remember getting this because I
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to...
like, my internet will go out for literally half of a second. Like, half of a second. And then the whole stream's like, oh my god, I have to quit. And the only way to fix it is to stop the stream and start it again. Thanks for the text, Ray. I think we should be back. I'm going to let it breathe for a second. This is $50 you can spend on yourself. You put it on your Steam account in November. Nice. Be a good time of year. Resume the game, begin the game again.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
I think I got this before.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
Yeah.
She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Yeah, I think I got that part before, and I was like, this, what the frick?
That was the insanity ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Can you generate, like, the same ending twice in a row? I don't know if you could, because, like, every time I go loop through, it changes certain conditions.
I think so. Based on what I can tell, you've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4 different endings so far.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Okay. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I can't remember. I think I went this way.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I went this way and down. That's how I did it.
Yeah.
Right, the narrator from Hitchhiker's Guide. Yeah. Now the narrator in Hitchhiker's Guide, I think, is a known voice.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
For this whole sequence to play out.
Oh no, this is the confusion ending again.
Oh, no.
Okay,
no, it's to the right. My mistake.
I must have taken a different
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right?
The escape is when you
go
to
the
the
right
left.
way.
Clearly...
Yep, I have to go the right way.
Would you hold on for a minute, please?
That's fine.
Now, let's see. We went down, right, left, down,
It definitely has the same
right.
vibe. I just...
Yep, okay, yes.
Wasn't actually
I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Well, Stephen Fry is the narrator to The Hitchhiker's Guide.
That's right.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to
See, there's all those platforms.
Who am I
I've done
kidding?
before.
It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How
Guess we'll
about,
answer my
rather than
question
waste
that
my
way.
time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
I guess what I can try, if I don't want to run the confusion ending again, like, is there a way to deviate once
All
you're,
of his
like, on that
co-workers were
path?
gone. What could it mean?
Like,
Stanley decided
I
to go
don't
to the
know,
meeting.
because the confusion
Perhaps
ending
he
was a
had simply
long
missed a memo.
path.
yeah. Because otherwise I
Maybe
could...
if you just go to the left.
Because, I could try to, like, hit
If
the
it keeps-
beginning. Oh, this is where
Yeah.
I had, like, multiple doors.
When Stanley... Wait.
So I
Wait,
went
what?
through this one
No.
last
Yeah,
time.
this is
No,
still
I
confusion.
restarted. I swear, I definitely
I
restarted
went
the
through
game
that
over,
one, and
completely
these
fresh.
two doors went to the
Everything
same
should
place,
be...
so I'll just try doing a different
Oh,
door
did
and see
something
if that changes
change?
it.
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere.
It's
Okay,
here
then.
somewhere.
It's an adventure. Come, Stanley.
Let's go.
Let's find the story.
Let's go this way. A couple different options here. Okay, so looks like I just got lucky the first time and went the right way. Because all of these like loop back on.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
Oh, okay. It
Well,
doesn't
I
matter
find
if
it
we go
unlikely
through
that we'll ever
restart.
progress by starting
Yeah, I
over
think
and over again.
once you're into the confusion ending, you're in it until...
Let's hit begin the game again and see what happens.
Yeah, that should restart it.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
So we'll go.
When Stanley came to a set
Go
of
to the
two open
left.
doors,
We
he entered
follow
the door on his
instructions
left.
until the escape door.
Yeah.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go
Jango.
up to his boss's office, hoping he might
Yeah,
find an
that's-
answer there.
Eventually, he just boards it up.
That's funny.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean?
I know that guy in
Stanley
the,
wondered
with the
aloud
tie is a very
to nobody.
Stanley Parable.
He began
like,
wildly
that's
tearing
like
through
their icon,
papers
but it
on the
always makes me
boss's
think of
desk,
Hitman.
pulling books off the shelf, looking
Oh, yeah,
behind
I can see that.
paintings, desperate
If you
for
wanted to go
clues to his
shovel some
situation.
snow.
But his attention was caught by a
Sorry, what's snow
keypad
over at your
behind the
computer?
boss's
They-
desk. What could
they
its
made it into the
purpose
lake
be?
for us.
In fact, this keypad
Too
guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin.
found it- I should
Stanley
try
was
a
in such a
different
rush to
road.
get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. So he relaxed for a few moments with some
Okay.
calming new age music.
I'm so mad right now.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked
Okay,
forward
fine.
into the opened
Game.
passageway.
Darn you. Yes. It's like this is a very prey hallway.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that
Here we
read
go.
Mind Control Facility.
This feels very
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
What?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I'm sure I did this.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh no!
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
It's a different
In a
narrative.
single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
No. I'm rogue. The Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Oh, did I get to the museum thing again?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. I
When
definitely
every
did this.
path you
this
can
is the
walk
museum
has been
ending.
created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment
I did
he
this,
hit
like I said,
start?
my second time through, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. This is a office layout. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The paths from Stanley's office to the two doors of the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development. The core layout remains the same to the first identical iteration. So there's the office. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. The corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time. The set of two open doors was the very first concrete piece of Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of contradictions, the room posed. We didn't look at Stanley's computer back here. Door 1, 2, and 3, which I don't think we've gotten to. The desk. File cabinet, so thanks. Office computer, so there's the solitaire employee database. Please enter your command, print status. Kind of read it. Button sounds. A selection of sounds used throughout the game when buttons pressed. Each sound is a mix of keyboard strokes and a synthesized tone. the credits. Is this the only way to see the credits for the game? Is to get the museum ending?
It might be. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, there's Kevin Brightman is his name. It's a weird way of spelling Kevin. Kevan. I like that for additional music, they cite Kevin MacLeod as if, you know. Made using Source by Valve. Okay, that explains why it feels like Portal. Okay, so there's a left and a right. Let's go this way. Maintenance room. Yeah, like, I think the first time I did this, I'd done none of this. Point of the Stereo HD remix. The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to lose. Point of the remix is to win. Is a screenshot Stanley Parable HD remix. More endings, fewer endings, more narrators, fewer narrators, more Stanley, less Stanley. Am I going crazy? Maybe this isn't the same image. Was the clock there before? I don't remember. How do you go back and check for me? Greenlight. In September 2012, we submitted the Stanley Parable to Greenlight, Valve's process of approving games for Steam. Greenlight page had only a series of cryptic photos, which were still enough to win the community's approval. Early development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up in the battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. I realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. I mean, I have always found this game to like to make fun of people. Oh my god, there's a lot in here. I actually kind of want to read it now because I feel like I've played more. Narrator emails. After the second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these for further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here's a selection of those emails. Congratulations. In line. Oh, will Stanley have infinite quests? How many endings? This is really going to let me go shopping. I hope it will have a fine selection of desert boots. How do you stay in shape? Michael the Mock. Pixel Sith. How do you make a JRPG? How do you make the worst game ever? What is the difference between it? Okay. I don't really feel like reading much of those. The office. The lounge. Stanley's office, from left to right. The evolution of Stanley's office over time, first created in November 2011, second March 2012, third in February 2013. What year did this game come out?
Let me find out. 2013.
2013. Okay. Game design mock-up. This is the level William, the level designer, sent to Davey, the writer, as a kind of audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game, though much of the environment's changed.
Apparently, it was originally just a mod for Half-Life 2.
I can completely believe that, because I feel like I'm playing a Valve game. The apartment timer. In the previous version, a choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Second version of the functionality is the same as the final game, but we wanted to look more like a place where cargo would be stored. And see, like, that is a room in Portal. So, like, they definitely built it out of Valve elements. Cargo lift was always intended to be the offer choices, staying on or jumping to a different path. However, this early version we decided we wanted the option by default. I feel like I'm gonna miss a room. Maintenance layout. The follow of hallways following the first two doors was important to get right since players would replay them so many times. We discussed a number of designs, but ultimately the simple version that run out. Okay, so first choice, obey, disobey, takes you to the lounge. Other entrance would be hidden depending on how you entered. Confusion ending to the confusion ending. Vent. Staircase. Interesting. Like this room we haven't been to yet. Beginning of the game, resuming the escape menu. For a long time we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted the game from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this is what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. Interesting. Zending model. Zending would, this room was represented the 4th version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but decided to abandon and change shortly before launch. Quite what that means. Because I've never been to this room. Screenshot an early event in the name known as Zending, which eventually got cut and merged with another part of the game. Okay, well that explains why I haven't seen it. These players were really part of the Zending. The player would pull a lever, the narrator would describe what color the lever they had pulled. We ran 4 major teaser trailers over the course of the game's development, each meant to convey something about the spirit of the game. This is the first one released in May 2012. It features a series of broken rooms. Yeah, I don't want to watch it. I can look the trailers up online. Okay, there's the exit, so I gotta be careful because I want to see everything. Early version of the countdown ending. Freedom ending. Monitor. At the time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the 2 endings together instead. Yet the quality testing for this game must have been insane. To try to like figure out what was confusing to players and what wasn't. Boss's office. This is where we came in. Yeah, this is where we came in. Employee lounge, underground, an early version of the underground, the game. Narration outtakes. Kevin Brightening, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over 2 years of development. These are clips from the early takes that were not used in the final game. I'm not that interested. He might say something interesting if you stay in here long enough, but I don't care to. Okay, there's some stuff up there I didn't do, but I think this all loops back around. I wish I could go faster.
There's no run either.
Yeah. Which is the reason why I haven't played Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, is I have to learn how to mod in a run button. Because heck if I'm going to play that without a run button. Okay, cool. So I think I've seen everything then. Pretty confident.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game.
Oh,
as long as you move
game.
forward, you'll be walking someone else's path.
So it's saying to do this and quit. I mean, why not? I don't know if that's actually what I was supposed to do, but whatever.
This is the story of a man named...
How many endings? Is there a known number of endings for this game?
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
13. Okay. I've done
22.
22. Okay. That's a lot of iterations. We will not be getting to all those today. Okay, what have I not
A soft wind
done?
blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he
Go
would
to the
one day see
window
another.
at 434.
434. Did I pass? 437, 430, 429, 433, 430. The window? The window's here. I've clicked on this computer before. Although it was waiting input, I didn't do it. It looked like that.
Hold on a second.
I can't remember how I got the apartment. Now I
I
can.
can lead you in that direction if you want.
I want to see if I can. These computers are doing stuff when I interact with them. I don't know if that's changing anything.
If you do enough of them, it will.
Okay. I've never tried that.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of
Proof box is
disbelief,
still covered.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, you
There's
know,
only one down ending,
when I went
and you've
down,
already done it.
wasn't there like another way straight, or did that go to a room that didn't go anywhere?
It looks like once you go down, no matter what you do is the same.
Okay, because there was one area I didn't go down there, and I think it's where you get on the cargo loader. But I don't really want to go into the confusion ending again, so we'll go up. Haha! Been getting here before. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Okay. It's a weird thing to write in your bathroom.
Extreme death. Oops.
At least we know no one's street paying.
Always good to know.
Is that a gun to a panda's head? Business strategy, okay. I don't think I did this before. Okay, so I can hit up or down on the elevator door. Let's do up. Because we can always come back through again. Nice long elevator ride. This music's a little creepy with like the very quiet voice. How long am I in here for? Do you want me to do something? Okay.
can't tell. I think it's just singing along with the music.
Okay, well, I can't get that elevator to do anything.
I don't think it does anything.
Okay. You come back to a dance party. Of course! Where else would I be besides a dance party and an elevator? Okay. Can I click? Okay. Stuck here.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
This voice is getting very over me. Say anything else.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Flight is on. Call extension 914 immediately. See a phone. Okay, should I take escape again or should I go back to the mind control facility?
Go back to the mind control facility.
Okay.
The escape is just the museum ending.
Okay. Nothing else there.
But there's one more
The
possible
lights
ending
rose
this
on
way
an
that you haven't
enormous
seen
room
yet.
packed with
Okay.
television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Cameras.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their
Fire!
true nature
Fire.
revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
I'm so curious what's on all these screens.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible.
Which
to
version of the
believe
game
it
do you
couldn't
have?
be true.
The original.
Had Stanley really been under someone's
Okay.
control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to
Now,
believe
when I
it.
was in
He
here before, I
couldn't
turned the
accept
power
it.
off.
His own life
assuming
in
there's just a
someone
different
else's
option
control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it?
That may or
Was it even possible?
may not be correct.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the
Do you get
world?
the apartment by waiting for a long time in your office?
No.
But here was the proof, the heart of the operation.
And I was actually wrong.
Controls
In your
labeled
version of the
emotions,
game,
happy
there are
or sad or content, walking, eating, working,
13.
all of it monitored
13
and commanded
endings.
from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley
There's number
decided that this
buttons. Hold on.
machinery would never again exert its terrible power
Hold on.
over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for
I
all.
see button 4 and 5. Where are buttons? There's 3. Hold on. It's 5. 1 and 2. Okay. Let's try this. God, I wish there was a run button. if it's this. I don't know if I'm supposed to be hitting a code because there's like a lot of numbers on the wall. I don't know if hitting it in reverse does something different. But we're gonna try. Okay, that was completely worth it.
I can tell you what those buttons do if you want me to.
Tell me this. Have I messed it up to the point where I can't do something with them now because I've started hitting them? Or, like, do I still have...
No.
Okay, so I can still figure out.
You have as much ability as you ever had.
Okay. In that case, let me see if I can figure it out. I mean, there's numbers on the wall, but I would need a 0, which doesn't mean there isn't a 0 that I just haven't found yet. What does that do? Nothing. Oh, there's more buttons. Home. G. Huh. Do I have to turn the power on before I can do anything with these buttons?
It will not have an effect on the button.
Okay. Cable running over here. God. God. There's gotta be something I'm missing.
Unless...
Unless the buttons don't do anything.
That is a distinct possibility.
Okay. That I can just spend all this time hitting the buttons and they do nothing.
You should consider that a possibility, yes.
Okay. I don't know if I made it up to that walkway last time. Well, in that case, at the very least, I know there's another option in here. So I turned system power off. What happens
And when
I
at
turn
last
system
he
power
found the
on?
source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty,
Yelled at me the
his
last time I got into the
obligation,
narration.
to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button.
Curious
or
what
this
happens if I
door.
had not hit
Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Okay, papers on the floor.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Is clicking this
You've gotten all of the going left
endings? Okay,
endings now.
good to know. Yeah, if there's 13 of them, there's a decent chance we could actually get to all those. How many have I done?
1, 2, 3. Oh, actually, there is one more left ending. 1, 2, 3.
When Stanley came to a set
4,
of 2 open doors, he
5.
entered the door on his left.
5 of them. If you want the other left ending, though, I probably will have to tell you how to get it.
That's fine. Let's just close off the left side.
Okay. Keep going until you get to your boss's office and stop before you go in.
Yet there was not
Okay.
a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
If I was over, like,
Coming to a
obviously I want
staircase,
to explore a
Stanley
certain
walked
amount of my own. If I
upstairs
was
to his
super worried
boss's
about doing it all
office.
on my own, I would have played it by now.
Right.
Okay, not
Okay.
going in.
What you're gonna do is go in and back immediately out before the doors close.
I've been trying to do that at other doors. Does it matter that it's now locked open?
I don't think so.
Here's the door.
It's funny that I was actively trying to do this, it just didn't do it here. Oh, there we go. Still go in the bathroom. Try going back down. Can I reopen the door?
Oh.
So I can probably only go back down. How far back I can go. Okay. Oh, that's open now. That hasn't been open before. That's trickier. You are now leaving. Escape pod bay floor 760. I can't remember if I got the explosion ending before, or frankly if I've watched it before, but I think part of that ending was part of my annoyance of the game. It was where I kind of, which was interesting.
Yeah.
Like going through the museum level and talking about how like they took parts of the game out because the players felt like they were being made fun of. Like that's still part of why I didn't keep playing the game, is I felt like the game was making fun of me for playing it. And I'm like, dude, I paid my money. Like, why are you making fun of me?
That's why I wasn't gonna let you spend too much time on those buttons that didn't do anything.
Yep. I'm
like I didn't want to tell you up front because I wanted you to play around. But
right, but okay, I'm just going up a circle here. Oh wait. It was like 760 or something, right? So I have to go.
yeah.
Can't remember the number, but it did definitely tell me the number. 59. Looks like the same office every time. I swear it's getting darker every time I go through. 760. Escape pod. This is very Portal. God, I can't see freaking anything. I swear, if there's a jump scare, I'm gonna be livid. Ah!
That was the escape pod ending.
Okay, and you're done. Interesting. Okay,
All of his co-workers were gone.
so that's
What
left
could it
side
mean?
done.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
How do I get the apartment again? Should I have stayed in my office?
No.
This is different. swear that's different.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to
that other
admire
area
it.
where I thought for sure there was a thing to do, I think...
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yep, this is the thing, is I never went in
Don't
here.
do that.
Don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't go to the left.
Yep.
Stanley was so bad at following
There's nothing new
directions,
for
it's
you that way.
incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I remember doing this, but I don't remember what it became.
Everything from this point on in this direction is a new ending for you, so.
Okay. Ray, I don't know if you're still there, but you know what I have to do for science. You'll be very familiar.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him
That's
what to
the
do,
death ending.
Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I always have to tell, whenever I play a video game for the first time, I always have to check if fire
All of
damage
his
is real
co-workers
and if
were
fall
gone.
damage is real.
What could it mean?
Or if I
Stanley
can
decided to
off
go to
then
the
if I
meeting
want
room.
to.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm sure I did that the first time I played because
When
there's
Stanley came
nothing
to a
more
set of
mean.
2 open... This was
Can I
not
go
the
off this
correct
edge?
way to the meeting
What
room,
happens?
and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by
My-
the employee
my
lounge first,
psychological
just to admire it.
explanation of that is I can't.
Standing
I mean,
now
I can,
in this
but I
incredible
shouldn't just
room,
run off of an
Stanley
edge
for the
real
first
life. So if
time,
I'm
but eager to get
trying
back to
experience
business,
something new,
Stanley took the
game
first
is
open
fine,
door
I'm
on his
on the
left.
edge. Okay.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Do not jump from cargo lift. It will cause death. Penalty for misuse. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift is $5,000, even though you'll be dead.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you
I
all
could have
this
gotten on there
time.
probably.
There's someone you've been
Probably not
neglecting,
now.
Stanley. Someone you've forgotten
Let's try
about.
it.
Please.
Oh God, I
Stop.
overshot.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story
That's
and
not
no
what I was
one
trying
gets to
to
tell
do.
him what to do,
That was an
Stanley
accident.
leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley.
I just
Everyone
missed.
thinks you are very powerful.
I just missed, that's all. I know what I was
A
trying to
soft
do.
wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather. When
I will
Stanley
also
came
tell you
to
there's
set
just a lot of
2
random
open- this was
generation
not the
stuff in
correct
those
way
first
to the
couple of
meeting room, and
corridors,
Stanley knew it
Okay.
just to
perfectly
make
well.
it different,
Perhaps
even
he
though
wanted
it's
to
not
stop by
different
the
until
employee
you get
lounge
the first
first,
choice.
just to admire
Gotcha.
it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. Giddy in a way he had never known. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
To defeat.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay, I want to try to get on that walkway.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
But considering
I
I
realize
can't
that
jump,
investing
I have
your
to
trust
wait
in someone
until-
else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've... What?
Got it.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
So I'm assuming these are two different paths here too.
That would be a fair assumption
Okay.
one could possibly make.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
I don't know if 1 or 5 is better.
Oh, of course. A 3. Really. Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings. Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
The Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. That's funny. 21 players skipped the intro sequence. Only the worst 3% of players chose the blue door.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
There's probably an achievement for playing it for 4 hours. All this is
There's a different ending if you do this for 4 hours.
Yeah, that one we're not going to do. I'm just going to tell everyone right now. If you want to know what the 4-hour ending to this is, someone has done it. And it's on YouTube. And I'll tell you how they did it. They wrote a program that hit this button for 4 hours. They didn't sit here for 4 hours. I do not think somebody actually did that.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done.
So in that case,
It's
we're only
over.
trying for 12 endings.
Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey,
Fair
since
enough.
my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here?
Portal, 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 portal.
Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
I would laugh really hard if
Kath-
it's Portal or Half-Life. Oh, it's
Kathleen, you came back
Well,
right at
Stanley,
the
is this
perfect
any
time.
better? At
Why is
last, the
this
one thing
different?
you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be
Well, I
enough?
don't have a jump
Well,
button.
I'll say this.
So I
since
can't
I'm
do
making
anything.
things for you. From now on, I will only create to
I
fulfill
feel like this would be a
greater
lot more
artistic
meaningful if I
purpose.
also had any
Watch
desire
this,
to play
Stanley.
Minecraft.
I'm going to build a house. This
he
will
building a
go
house?
here. No, here. And then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your
Everyone
own
came back for the baby.
inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable. Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Do you get to this point no matter what doors you go through? Or
Which doors?
that's a good question. So not the beginning where I'm picking red, and I like committed to blue. So I've committed to blue, and then he goes, fine, here's a third door. Once he adds the third door, do you get to this no matter what, or is there a benefit? to-
Yes. Once you insist upon blue, you end up here.
Okay. So if I were to go through again, I'm assuming you either start going red or you do blue and at the last minute still go red and you eventually get to red door.
That would be a fair assumption.
Okay.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
This is pretty darn funny.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Diamonds. Portal? I really want to play Portal. Yes! It's Portal! I know that radio.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love
I recently
it.
replayed this on my Steam Deck.
You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be?
It's
I can't
Portal,
figure it out.
you heathen.
Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Does it have the radio trick? It doesn't have the radio trick. It would have been complete if it had the radio trick. But it does not. We did stream most of Portal 1, but we didn't finish it on stream. I have finished it.
It's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley.
This is so
Your
good.
forte.
Cube!
Genius.
Cube is friend.
No,
It's like
actually,
you-
you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games. And I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste
Now
my
I just
time,
wanna
I'm just
play
going to
Portal.
leave you
I'm
here.
not gonna lie.
You can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you, but as for me, I've had enough. So, why don't you get cozy in this room, and if you have any grand revolutionary...
Hey, F yeah. I'm hanging on to this radio as long as you let me. F yeah. Okay. This is my radio now. I wish it was still playing music. I feel like that's an edge to walk off of and not just darkness. Where's my radio? Gosh dang it, I wanted that radio. God bless you. Okay, that made me really happy.
Thank you.
Portal. Not only that I wanted it to be Portal the first time, and then the second time I knew it at the radio.
Apparently, sometimes if you do it this way instead of Minecraft, it'll do Firewatch instead.
Oh, that's cool. Now, Firewatch I really like. I have played that one. I effing love Firewatch. That might
And
be a
then,
good
then it still goes to Portal.
Portal. Yeah, I mean, if this was made in that engine, that makes sense. That's funny. It can be Firewatch. I didn't think Firewatch was contemporary with this. I would have thought it was a little bit after.
But apparently it's all, like he's picking an open world game, and then he decides he doesn't like that much choice, and so he puts you into Portal.
Gotcha. Here's my office. Maybe we should stream Firewatch sometime. That was a fun game.
I think I've got it on my my Steam wish list as something just to keep an eye on until it goes on sale.
I might, actually, if I don't stream it, I might replay it on the deck, because I bet it's really good on the deck. Okay. There's a couple I want to get though. I think.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him.
This narrator and Loki
He
would get
needs
along.
me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the
Everyone just
chaos
wants
and the
to be
fear and the
ruled. They're
confusion.
happier that
That's
way.
who I am. That is what I mean to this world.
I use that as an example in my
Yes,
classes
I'll be
all the time.
back. There's no other way.
Yeah.
Once this ends, after it all comes to
The
a
bad
close,
thing now is that
I'll be
movie
back.
is old enough that
The
it
end
was
will be here
like when
soon.
my students were like 8.
Very
Ugh.
soon. I can wait.
You waiting for me? What are we doing? Okay, so I'm assuming that was Blue Door ending.
Yes,
Okay.
that was the
Stanley
game.
knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
I keep forgetting to try to figure out what I'm doing with those computers. Or does hitting the computers change the generative hallway? Is that what you were saying?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was
I
not
don't think it does
correct way to
anything in the
meeting
version
room,
of the game
and
that you
Stanley
have.
knew it perfectly
okay.
well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by
That's
the
one of the reasons
employee
why I
lounge
asked
first,
earlier.
just to admire
Yep,
it.
this is still the original version.
The lounge was grand,
Yep.
majestic, perhaps too majestic.
So
But
is the
eager to get
I'm
back
gonna
to business,
jump off again
Stanley took the
and
first
go to the
open
red
door on
door,
his
but
left.
is riding this all the way through how I get to the apartment? Because that sounds familiar.
Stanley was so bad
Potentially.
at following directions, it's incredible
think
he
that's
wasn't
what I
5
did.
years ago.
Because I don't know that it actually occurred to me to
Look,
jump
Stanley,
on
I
this
think perhaps
platform
we've
the first
gotten
time
off
I
on the
played.
wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really.
I think
I'm
once I
not.
fell off the
I
first
realize that
time, I
investing in
didn't
your
try to
trust
do
in
it.
someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
That was close.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
I want to go
Give
to
me
the
a
point where he
chance.
forces me to
Now
do
listen
that.
carefully, this is important. Stanley
How
walked
much more
through
time
the
do
red
you
door.
have? Are we doing okay? on
About an
time?
hour.
Perhaps you misunderstood.
Yeah.
Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think
Okay,
we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley?
I'm not running.
I
That's
wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for?
I almost want to go back to the blue door and find Firewatch again. And see if I can get Firewatch, but it was kind of a longer sequence. When I could probably just look it up.
Here, yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
This feels like something that Emily does after you give her enough amethysts. That's a game I have not played in a very long time. So I'm afraid if I start playing Stardew again, I just won't stop playing Stardew. Oh, it won't let me walk off the edge this time.
Coincidentally, I started another Stardew farm after I posted my final grades earlier this week.
Nice. I really didn't play it much after the island update, so I've done a little bit of the island stuff, but not a lot. And I feel very behind in my Stardew knowledge because of it.
No, wait. Where are you going? Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Can I go back? Does he say something if I go back?
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here. No! What did we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here. You heard me before, didn't you? You will die! What about this isn't getting through to you? Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Oh, because I'll fall?
No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room? There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
I don't know if I should jump again or sit still here.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
About me having to jump off a stairwell multiple times, though, that I don't know that I really want to.
No. What do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. My God, Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself.
Now he sounds a little bit like Marvin.
Happy.
Yeah.
Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours. Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
That was the space
Yes,
ending.
that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting
now I'm
room,
gonna
and
get on
from
that
then on,
platform
he would
and
never
write
be
it all the way
alone
across.
ever again.
What are we at numbers wise?
11 out of 13 if we take
When
out the one
Stanley
you're not
came
going
to
to
a
do.
set of 2 open doors,
I thought it was
this was
13
not
with
the
the
10
correct
out-
way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it.
Yeah, so it's 10 out of 12.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge
There's
first,
2 more.
just to
Okay.
admire it.
And,
And here it
I know
was,
for sure
the
running
lounge.
that platform will take me to something
But
to do.
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
So we'll try that.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Was that all of Red?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the
Yeah.
wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy.
Again, unless you're going to do the play for 4
I
hours.
realize that
No, I'm not
investing
gonna
your
play for
trust
4
in
hours.
someone else can be difficult, but the
At least
fact
not on
is that the
stream.
story has been
I'd
about
have to,
nothing
like,
but you
I cannot
all
listen
this
to that for
time.
4 hours, so I'd have
There's
to
someone
like,
you've
take
been
my
neglecting,
headphones on.
Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
I could see
Please,
myself like if I
Stop trying
put
to make every
a
decision
show
by
on,
yourself. Now,
and I
I'm
was
not
just
asking
like
for me.
stimming by
I'm
clicking
asking
that
for
button
her.
over and over again when I couldn't hear it. Like I could probably do that.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to
But like,
redeem
there's no
yourself.
way I'd play the game.
To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Okay, yeah, this is the apartment. I feel like there's more than one apartment.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her.
Oh, I
If you
read
can
this
truly
in the
place your faith in
museum.
another,
Wasn't there like a pick up
then
the phone?
pick up
this
the
is down?
phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start by picking up the phone. Let's see what that does, and then we can not pick up the phone. I feel like it'll mean more for what happens when you don't pick up the phone.
Oh, Stanley,
if
is that
we pick
you?
up the phone.
Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm
This
just
I
pulling
feel
the
like I've
bread out of
seen.
the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Good morning, employee 2427. Press 8 on your keyboard.
Stanley is
Brennan.
quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Let's see what happens if I don't hit a button. I feel like he just yells at me. I think I did this before. How you doing, Brennan? Are you familiar with the Stanley Parable? Okay, I think we just...
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. and so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Other buttons don't do anything.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door.
Spiffy, glad
The
to hear
mere
it.
thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Press speed for dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations.
Nasty.
Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down
It would be
another was a
wild if
game
you
with a
somehow got
baby.
this first,
And he
and you're
called
like,
it
"What
the
the
Stanley
Yeah.
Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Press 9 to tell your wife you love her.
But there is no answer. How could there
She
possibly
becomes
be?
a desk.
In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Eat us.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Alright, let's ignore it. Press J to be at work in the morning. Press other keys. I think it's a case of just nothing happens and you have to eventually do it. Or it's a stupid amount of time, which I don't feel like doing. Okay, J.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
I see. Press M to question nothing.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Da-da-da. Alright, so we'll go back and not answer the phone.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
I'm
simply
assuming
missed a
that I
memo.
don't know, but I think that there's one more ending, not counting the 4-hour one. We haven't done.
When Stanley
that is
came to a
correct.
set of 2 open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the
I
employee
do
lounge
wish he would yell
first,
at me
just
here
to
for going
admire
too
it.
fast. That would be funny.
It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door
God,
on
I'm
his
yawning
left.
so much, but it is Thursday, so I'm usually pretty tired by Thursdays.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop
supposed
trying
to
to
be
make
the
every
narrator,
decision
or
by
is it
yourself.
someone I've
Now,
forgotten?
I'm not asking for me, I'm
Oh,
asking
for
for
her.
I think he's supposed to be talking about your wife. Yeah.
This is it, Stanley.
He's beginning
Your
this
chance
setup.
to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Sweet. A certain amount of time.
There's an alternate thing you can do in this room besides answer the phone.
Okay. Try the door. Can I unplug the phone?
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
What? Practice. So, I'd go.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day.
Okay.
Do you make more than 8? Less?
Yes, I do.
And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
This is pretty fantastic.
Oh, no. Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please. Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
There's a lot of TV show writers who would love to play this game. Can I get back on it and have it go? No. Getting super.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, well, naturally I have to go to the right.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
He's not going to say anything new. All right.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Hey, Pixel Bite. Thank you for wishing Jango a happy birthday. He's on the call.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Playing Stanley Parable.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
If I had gone here the first way, it might have destroyed anyway.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Oh, I can't open the broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
It took that choice away. That doesn't say bathroom on it anymore. And the office looks different.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code. Stanley spoke the code. Nightshark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
I can't talk.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step. Okay, fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley?
I see Stanley's face.
Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you
Thank you for
listening to
playing
me?
the Stanley Parable.
Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important.
Credits.
The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you.
Apparently, this is the only other ending
Whatever
where you
choice
get
you make is
credits.
just fine. They're both correct. You
Makes
cannot be
sense.
wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever
rather
you
meta.
do. I simply need you to take that step forward.
It would be kind of
please.
funny to watch people who've like
Choose.
streamed this and
Do
see like their
something.
first, just see if somehow they like. It's possible somebody stumbled on this ending
I
first.
need this. The story needs it.
Like if you're in that room and go, oh, I wonder if I can pull that
Can you hear
plug.
me?
Right.
Are you there? Are you listening to this?
Because like
Stanley, are
you go
there?
through, you go to the right because you went to the right. You get on the platform. You simply don't get off the platform. You go in the room. Go, oh, I wonder if I can
You need
unplug this.
time
Like
to
you could hit this
decide.
ending.
Time to make sure your choice is correct.
I'm sure
That is
somebody
the
else
best
did that and
choice.
went, this was the whole game, and like
That's
didn't
all right.
play it after that.
I'll wait for you to decide what's the right
I wouldn't
thing
be
to do.
surprised.
Like I bet there's at
Take
least
as
one
much
player
time
out
as
there
you
like that.
need.
All right, does that pretty much bring us to? I'm assuming
Yep.
then at the point where it was like, okay, you need to go through the left and the right. That happens after you do the left and the right.
Yeah, it
And-
does.
And it just doesn't matter what order you do it in. That makes sense. Because both of them ended in a way where it would imply you should go do the other one.
Yeah, technically it was just one ending.
That makes sense. All right. Well, I think short of doing the 4-hour "Don't Let a Baby Die" ending, I think we're good. Let's look at I would like to. If I do this, will it bring it up? Yeah. Let's look and see what achievements I got. So today we added beat the game, which a lot of people have done. No, you can't jump, which a lot of people have done, and don't go outside, which it says 15.7% of players have done, but I'm sure a lot of them did it through cheating their time. Achievement. This is an achievement with the off button. Click on door 30. Oh, click on door 435 times. So we can do that. I thought it was. 430 times. I wasn't going to do that. I don't know what 8... Maybe I hit 8 times. Complete the Stanley Parable in under 4 minutes, 22 seconds, not including load times. It is impossible to get this achievement. Play the Stanley Parable for the entire duration of Tuesday? Yeah,
That's funny.
That is not a game. This is not a game I'm 100%ing, guys. I'm sorry to tell you. But we can go find... Let's see if we can find door 430. Wait, hold on. Save? You can't save the game. Like, save what? Okay, calm down, game. With your fake save menu. This is different, but I think you told me it does, of course. Wait, hold on.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No. I want to find door 430. 430.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say
it's
that's
just gonna
the
keep
kind
making
of effort
fun
that
of
warrants
me.
recognition.
Okay. God.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly.
Okay.
50 clicks.
Yeah, I'm assuming the ones with the picture of the button mean there's probably achievements to get in the button room, but I don't feel like I want to look it up.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Oh my god. Okay, at this point I just have to see what this does. I should have known better. I figured the 5 clicks on that door was a oh god, what door was it? 417? I thought it was a reference I just wasn't getting. But no, it's this stupid scavenger hunt.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
It is 437. I'm not interested in this, but I'm doing it anyway, because that's what this thing does.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
What's good is it is actually registering all my clicks, not the number of times you hear the click effect.
Yeah.
That's at least nice.
Now, back to door number 437.
Oh my god.
I still appreciate you torturing yourself this way for me.
Well, the way I see
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
I don't know how much of Mass Effect 3 you saw, but there was a point where, like, the bro guy was working out, and to, like, impress him, you had to do 100 pull-ups, and I did all 100, and they were quick time events, so if I messed up even once, I would have had to start it over again.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
And I'm like, honestly, if I can do that, I can do this for a few minutes. Thankfully, that game did actually reward me. I was gonna be
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
I can't climb. There's no jump button.
Okay. Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
I'm honestly, like, sort of enjoying how ridiculous
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
This guy's just so excited. Where the frick did the copy machine go? I can't remember where I am.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430! Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
There's probably one more achievement you could do pretty easily if you want to.
Let's see here. Let's look. So we got that one. I'm curious. 40% of players have done it. That makes it less exciting. Okay. View my achievements. So this is an achievement with an off button. 8. Speed run. I'm assuming that's just get to a particular ending in under 4 minutes, 22 seconds. Because I don't know how you complete the Stanley Parable. Unachievable.
That one's doable, but it's hard.
Yeah. It's impossible to get this achievement. There's no clue there or whatever. I'm not going...
That one, you have to change some files.
Oh, that's why.
Like
okay.
Code in the files.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. And then play the Stanley Parable for the entire duration of a Tuesday. I mean, like, that's doable insofar as all I have to do is open it on a Tuesday at midnight and let it be on. Or I could probably change the game clock to do that.
You can do the 8s if you want.
Is that the button room and I hit like an 8 that many times or something?
It's the keypad in your boss's office.
Oh, okay. I can do that. Yes, we'll go do that.
So you're going to want to start over, though.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Should have thought of the keyboard or keypad too, because I thought about what happens if I put the wrong key.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to
Apparently, the
staircase,
broom closet
Stanley
ending,
walked
you have to have the
upstairs to his
Ultra
boss's
version
office.
for it.
Ah, that makes sense.
The Ultra version adds several more, and then the Ultra Deluxe
Here's the
version
door,
adds
just
like
go.
dozens more.
Trying to hit 8. Nope. Here we go.
Eight.
There we go.
There you go.
That was exciting. It just says 8. 21.1 or 21.8% of players have that one. Well, that's good. This at least got the achievements up over 50%, which is what I try to get most of the games I play to. All right, I think that's gonna be it for the Stanley Parable for the time being.
I think we did the thing.
I think we did the thing. We did the thing. There was Stanley. He was in a parable. I gotta be honest. I think Jesus had better parables, but you know, that's probably goes without saying. Where are we
Was 5 years in the making.
5 years in the making for this moment. But hey, we got to appreciate Jango's birthday. A little late, but his birthday nonetheless. Like 3 weeks late.
Woohoo!
But thank you for being here. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm gonna do some more streams because if I did my math right, I'm very close to 100 streams this year. So
Nice.
I had to recount. I think it was actually at 95. So I think this is 96. So we'll see. I would love to be able to say I did that. But I need to recount because I realized, at first I thought it was 96, and then I realized one of the streams was a time I had an internet problem, and it was the same stream just broken into 2 pieces, and I'm like, oh, I gotta make sure I might not be as, I don't know how many times that happened this year, and I might not be as close as I think. Anyway, I'll be back at some point, I'm sure. Not tomorrow, I have family stuff tomorrow, but at some point over the weekend I'll probably do one. But thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Happy birthday again, Jango. And, I'll talk to you all later.